Hi everyone, welcome to another comic book review and welcome to Comic Book Corner, and this is your host Spider Slayer. In this comic book review, what you're going to see is going to be Scarlet Spider, issue number 2. It's a subscriber's request, and this is probably about my third or fourth video today. So I just want to let you guys know, again, sorry that these videos are coming out a little later. I just had to work all weekend, so I apologize in advance, but I'm trying to get them to you now. And then stay tuned for, if not today, probably tomorrow, Spider Slayer Stack. This is a review of all the comics that I have read throughout the week, and I'll go give you a quick rundown of what I think of the books that I read. So, getting back to business, Scarlet Spider, issue number 2, following up from issue number 1. First issue had lots of good action, but you didn't see Kane in his spider suit yet. So in this issue, it is the first time that we actually get to see him in his Scarlet Spider suit, and I must say it fits him nicely. I am definitely digging the suit. And I must say that this series is nice. It's got a nice story to it. It looks like it's going to be continuing on with nice deep stories, not like a team-up book like Avenging Spider-Man or anything like that. This particular issue was like a two-parter, to introduce you to the character and what he's been through, and a quick like B-villain like character, to fight, and so he can kick his ass and get him over with. But this was a nice issue and a nice opening story to the book. This book, must say, I love the art in it. I mean, it's just rich in detail and in color. And Chris Yost, I don't even know how to say his name, is the writer. And Ryer Stigman did the pencils, and Mike Babczynski did the inks, and the actual colors was done by Marte Garcia. But there is lots of great artwork in here. Just like in the opening page here, we can see that there's a flashback of the Jackal, how he was created, how Kane was created, and how he said he was worthless, and he had all these scars, and how he said his father tried to shoot him, and things like that. But I mean, that was a great opening scene, and that shows you how these, how this artwork really goes on this book. But going on to the story aspect of this book, I just want to let you know there will be spoilers because it's subscribers' request. A lot of these people ask me to do these types of reviews where I do full walkthroughs, is because they're not sure of what book if they want to buy a book. So they like watching these types of reviews to see if the artwork's worth it, or if the story is worth it for them to be spending their $2.99 or $3.99 on the book, and that's why I do these types of reviews. I usually do about 2 or 3 a week, and then I go into a whole stack of books that will be reviewed without major spoilers. But so right now, I'm just letting you guys know, again, there'll be spoilers. But being based off of the last episode, we see that Kane, he's truly trying to skip town. He saved that girl, that one girl that was left to survive, and she brought her to the hospital. And then the next thing you see is that Kane is on his way back, and he basically, you see the hospital just explodes, and he's just like, oh God, why should I go back? He goes, I'm on my way, and he goes, why should I save her? And then he can't let her go. And then what happens, he's like, get out of the car, and he throws the cabbie right out. Now, there's major differences between Peter Parker and Kane, and Kane is trying to get used to being a hero, right, because he's been so bad in the past. and there was no purpose for him. But now there's a purpose. His head is clear. But still, he's still pretty violent. You know, he throws the cabbie right off of the out of the taxi, and he drives, and you see him. He's driving back to the hospital, and the next thing you see in this panel right here is you see his spider suit hanging out in the background, so you know what's coming. So next in the issue, we come back to the kiss of whatever Kotol. I don't even know what the hell this guy's name is, but he's like some fire god, and he's out to get this girl, from this smuggling thing. He's like desperate to get her, and he's after her. And then the next thing is she's running away from him, and he's chasing, and he's going after her. And this is what this issue was mainly about. Was about this character chasing this girl. So I mean, deep plotness wise, it wasn't very, very deep when it comes to the character, because this character's obviously not going to really hang around. But he was basically after this girl, and Scarlet Spider makes his appearance for the first time in his costume, and he's basically just getting ready to do major battle. And here's the page here. Here's where you can really appreciate the art right here in this particular big page right here. Busting through. He stole the suit from Peter, and he's basically got the black and the red eyes, and I think it looks fucking badass. It looks intimidating. It just gives it's like Spider-Man with an edge. That's what I like about it. So that's pretty awesome right there. But you can see here now, Fire God Man here, he's sitting there going, come on, let's do battle. And basically that's what they do through the whole entire issue here. From here on out is they're doing battle. There's not really much substance in the middle of the book, but he basically does kick his ass. You can see here he just wraps him against the face, and they throw him out. He throws him outside the building. Again, another great artwork page there. I mean, just phenomenal. You can see Scarlet Spider. He tries to strangle him with his webs here. It's unsuccessful, and then what happens is that the cop tries to interfere like an idiot, like he's gonna win, and Scarlet Spider or Kane, he's sitting there going, "You get out of the way, you idiot!" And he tries to push him out of his way. And then the cool thing is you never see this. He picks up a gun. I thought this was like a highlight for me in this book. He picks up a gun and he uses the gun. I thought it was awesome. Shoots out 3 rounds right there, and he goes to kill his enemy, and he does hit him, but all he does, he gets pissed off, and he goes, "That's enough," and he releases all the fire in a possible planet to try to kill him. And Scarlet Spider just sits there and he makes a cocoon and to protect himself. And the next thing you know is that the tide has turned, and he freaking basically, Kane wraps the fire god in a webbing, jacks him in the face with his foot one time, and that's it. People are cheering for him, and he wanted to kill him. That's what was going through his head. But now that his mind is clear and he hears these applause, he feels that it's not the right thing to do. And then and then that's it, and then he goes, "Houston, go figure." Next thing we see is that the girl is safe, and they believe that the girl has to go back to the border, but if a vigilante was to take care of her, then she wouldn't have to go back. So, and at first Kane was like, "No, I did what I had to do, I'm out of here." So he goes to leave, and you see him, he literally makes it to the border. He makes it to the border, and he thinks about it, and he says, "You know what?" He winds up taking the girl, and he's protecting her, and he goes, "I have a second life at chance, and so does she." And he's standing outside of Houston looking over the building tops, and he goes, "And I have a second chance at life, and you know what? And if things don't work out," he goes, "New Mexico is right next door." So basically, he's going to stay in Texas. He's going to be their savior, their superhero. And if things don't go right, he's going to go to Mexico. And that's the end of the issue. And then the next issue, it says, everything instantly goes bad. So what does that mean? I have no idea, but um, this ends the two-parter to the opening issues of Scarlet Spider. Um, I definitely think that this book has strong potential. It was a nice opening story to introduce Kane and what he went through, what costume he wears, and it was good to introduce him to like a second-rate villain. Maybe this will introduce more villains that we haven't seen around lately, because it was nice to see a fresh face, even though he was kind of sent to jail right away. So there's a lot of potentials for this. There's a lot of potentials for him teaming up with Spider-Man eventually. Who knows with the whole Venom thing going on right now, or Carnage thing going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in Spider-Man's universe, and I think there's lots of great things to come in this series and in the other Spider-Man titles as well. Um, and then that's about it. And that's all I have to say about Scarlet Spider-Man. But I do suggest picking this up, guys. Okay, and I want to appreciate everyone for watching my channel, subscribing to my channel, and if you are interested in subscribing to my channel, please subscribe to Comic Book Corner. And thank you for watching, guys. And this is Spider Slayer signing off. Thank you very much. Bye.